This is Helena Hayes. Okay, my real name is Rebecca Van Acker. Helena Hayes is the name of my character, which I created for the role-playing game system Universal Horizons. I'm one of the artists who contributed artwork to the game and game books. A lot of the artwork in this video is mine. Universal Horizons is a tabletop role-playing game, similar in many ways to Dungeons & Dragons, Pathfinder, and those sorts of games. One of the main differences between Universal Horizons and those games is the ability to fluidly move your character from genre to genre. Your character, for instance, may have originated in a fantasy genre, and therefore have racial characteristics only available in that genre. Say you're a gnome or an elf. In most systems, that would be the end of it. You can't take that gnome or elf into a space opera, or to modern Earth, or to the sunken city of Atlantis. Universal Horizons is different. Simply acclimate your character in what is called a hostel by removing those racial characteristics such as dark vision, exceptional endurance, extra or limited strength factors, etc., and aligning the character with human abilities. A lot of the acclimation process has little to do with alien races, however, and more to do with your character's particular skills, which I will talk about more soon. Here is an example of a character sheet. Base resources are listed at the top. We have mind, body, soul, and wealth. Below the base resources, the skills are broken into categories and listed. Next to each skill, you will find the level of that skill, the number just to the left of the skill, and whether the skill is universal, adaptable, or exclusive, signified by a U, an A, and an X, respectively. I'll talk more about that later. Okay, so I will briefly introduce you to how skills work in the Universal Horizons game system. First of all, this is a skill-based system and not level-based. This means that your experience points do not accumulate into a massive level up, which has mostly been predetermined by whatever class you've chosen. Instead, your earned experience points, called hops in this system, are given out at the end of each session, and may then immediately be applied to whatever skill you would like your character to raise or learn. The Universal Horizons system has defined hundreds of skills, which are listed and described in the Player's Handbook. Here's the Player's Handbook and some of the skills and descriptions. The number of skills may appear daunting at first, but players learn the value and use of these skills through gameplay, as the guide may call for specific skills to overcome the various challenges the module or scenario presents. So, for instance, there may be a wall that your character must climb. The guide will call for mountaineering or a climb skill. If your character does not have that skill, your character may resort to a different skill, such as gymnastics, to surmount the obstacle. However, using a skill that's not exactly the right fit incurs a shift penalty, which basically makes success more difficult, and the player must roll a higher dice score. Now, if climbing becomes something that you want your character to be good at, you may at the end of the game session add your experience, or hops, to mountaineering. During the next session then, your character will be that much better at that skill. This little clip here illustrates a guide and player discussion about what skills should be used in a mountain climbing situation.
Okay, then I'm just going to move backward and start climbing down.
Sure. Awesome.
What am I rolling?
Fortuna.
He's climbing down.
Climbing or mountaineering. Mountaineering or...
Okay, I have mountaineering, I have ecology, and I have engineering, and I have
mountaineering or gymnastics?
I have athletics, gymnastics, what?
Mountaineering or gymnastics?
Which is the best?
Mountaineering or gymnastics?
Mountaineering is the best. Gymnastics.
Which is best? I don't know your
Mountaineering and
scores. What's your ranks?
gymnastics get a regular.
Gymnastics is at 30, and mountaineering is at 15.
Neither one gets a shift.
What do you think
against
you
it.
should roll?
Are they equal as far as use?
We're deciding what skill he needs
What's the team?
to make it.
He doesn't know the TN. I'm not giving him the TN.
I think it's
He can
75.
ask 20 times.
You
He's
had
not
your
going to get it.
metagaming of the day
Mr.
already.
Schmidt,
So.
you already
That
gave
was
us
on
it,
him,
though.
not me.
I know you said it earlier.
This is really humorous
make
because
sure
he's
they're
about to
both
take
equally
18
useful.
dice 6 damage. That's why the DM is laughing so hard.
Gymnastics.
Is that
Okay,
recording your voice?
good call.
So let's talk about genre shifting and skills. Basically, as I mentioned before, the Universal Horizons system has classified each skill into one of 3 categories: universal, adaptable, and exclusive. Universal skills are skills that can be used in any genre. Usually these are combat skills. A player who can use an axe very well in one genre can use that axe equally well in another genre, You also have basic physical skills such as gymnastics that will be universal. Exclusive skills are those skills that can in no way move on to another genre. Generally, these are magic-type skills. If your wizard moves to 1980s Earth, those wizarding skills are not available. You also have adaptable skills. How this works is, say your character knows engineering. Well, you're going to have a different caliber of engineering in a distant future world with space travel than you are in a medieval fantasy. This doesn't mean that you can't learn engineering in the new world, but it does mean that you must invest some hops into the skill to account for genre differences. This is how fluid genre shifting works regarding skills. What modules are available for play in the Universal Horizons game system? First off, many characters will originate in a Universal Horizons genre called Bloodtooth, which is a 1980s alternate reality Earth where vampires and werewolves and a limited amount of magic exist. These supernatural elements are not well known to the public, however, and so the genre can be described as a conspiracy theory world. We have several Bloodtooth module writers and several modules available for play. There is a What Happens in Vegas series, a voodoo zombie type storyline, and several modules which follow the storyline of the Wolf's Heart novel series, which I will talk about later. Here is the cover for Save the Soul, which is part of that module series. Also for Bloodtooth, we have several modules we refer to as paradoxals, in which the guide sets a time limit for some explosion or end-of-the-world sequence, or TPK, and the players must start from the beginning of the module again, but this time with foreknowledge of whatever they've discovered from their previous attempt. As if there are infinite universes. Here's the cover of It's a Trip, in which the party must save a family that is fleeing from persecution. Their boat keeps exploding. Another genre the system currently offers is called Arachnidia. This is an advanced technology genre set on a world called Terra, in which the native population consists of humans. Terra has been invaded by giant alien insects, and the party's mission is to aid the human resistance. Adaptable skills come into play here. Players have access to advanced weaponry, transportation, and other high-tech things, as long as they can find the stuff. Many modules have been written for this genre, but not all of them are produced and printed yet. Here's the intro to the genre. It's called Bug Hunt. Universal Horizons does not yet have its own fantasy genre, but some writers are interested, and ideas have been discussed. Extensive work has been done on a set of fantasy spells and spell mechanics.